What do you think if I say that Chinese phone nowadays can actually be much better than even the newest iPhone? Like the one I have right here, the OPPO Find X9 Pro. It has many things that seems to be superior than an iPhone. For example, it has a massive 7500 mAh battery, an 80-watt fast charging, a display with a razor-thin panel, even thinner than the iPhone 17 Pro Max, and one of the best telephoto camera in the smartphone world right now. Even the software itself can sync surprisingly well with Apple devices like a MacBook or even your iPhone. So what is going on? Is Chinese phone now truly better than iPhone now? Let's find out in today's videos. And hey, welcome back to ThinkView, and this is NK. Now, let's get the video started. When it comes to design, OPPO has a very clear strategy. Whatever iPhone has, they bring it over to their phone. But sometimes it even feels like they are trying to be a copycat because OPPO also copied those things that people consider as a failure on an iPhone. For example, this camera control button, a feature that's pretty useless on the iPhone and often criticized as one of Apple's biggest mistakes, yet OPPO copied it exactly. Even the placement of this button, which I found very uncomfortable to use. It's like they are saying to themselves that whatever Apple have, they have to have it. It's weird, isn't it? And again, I truly don't like this button at all. I found it very annoying because I frequently press it by accident. But to be fair, when it's come to build quality and design, this phone is pretty much flawless. Trust me, once you hold it in your hands, you will immediately notice how far Chinese phone maker has come with their craftsmanship. For example, all four bezels are razor thin, perfectly even and actually thinner than the iPhone 17 Pro Max. The finishing is very refined, even the tiny details like the button, the speaker holes, the USB-C port all match the body's color. Overall, it's very hard to complain about the Find X Pro build quality. The only problem is that it looks a little bit too much like the iPhone 16 Pro Max, especially when it comes to hold it in your hands. Now, let's talk about battery and charging with this phone. The battery here is actually insane. It has a whopping 1700 mAh battery. Most Chinese flagship phones in 2025 now use silicon carbon technology for their battery, which push the battery capacity to almost 1.5 times of that of iPhone. In real-time use, however, the Find X Pro 9 gives me a slightly better battery life, maybe roughly than an hour if you compare with the iPhone 17 Pro Max. Usually, I can get close to 2 days of basic usage even with always-on display turned on. It also supports SuperVOOC fast charging up to 80 watts. But to be honest, charging a huge 7500 mAh battery still takes around an hour or more. Not very fast, but at least it's nice that OPPO still give the charger for free included right inside of the box. But the time it takes to fully charge this phone isn't that impressive. Since the battery is so large, the Find X9 Pro actually needs 77 minutes to go from 0 to 100%. That's even slower than the iPhone 17 Pro Max, which only needs around 75 minutes. In the first 30 minutes, OPPO gets to 48%, while the iPhone already reaches 68%. Pretty much noticeable, right? So in terms of charging speed, the Find X9 Pro isn't as fast as it seems to be. Now when I bring these two outdoor, the Find X9 Pro actually is a little bit brighter thanks to its peak brightness of 3600 nits compared to just around 3000 nits on the iPhone 17 Pro Max. And again, the bezel here are razor thin. The iPhone 17 Pro Max already got some really thin bezel, but somehow OPPO can still make it thinner. It looks really sleek and clean. For display quality, it uses an LTPO OLED panel that can drop to 1 Hz for always-on display. It also supports HDR10 Plus and Dolby Vision. Both are fully compatible with Netflix content, so the viewing experience is excellent. However, when watching HDR content, the iPhone 17 Pro Max still shows higher brightness and better contrast, even though its spec sheets say otherwise. So Apple software is still ahead here. For speaker, I would say that it is somewhat on par with the iPhone 17 Pro Max. Well, it's loud and detailed, but at some point, the bottom speaker is kind of too loud and overpower the top one. In vertical use, it's fine, but when you switch it to horizontal, you can actually hear that the sound is tilted to the bottom side. It's not like the iPhone where the sound is more balanced. Let me tell you, the camera is where the Find X9 Pro really stands out, and yes, it crushes the iPhone 17 Pro Max. It has a combo of 3 cameras, a 50 megapixel main camera, a 200 megapixel Hasselblad telephoto with optical stabilization, and finally 50 megapixel ultra-wide lens with electronic stabilization. And I guarantee you that you will fall in love with the 3x zoom Hasselblad lenses. Sometimes I even wonder if this is the main sensor or not because the results are incredible. Most telephoto cameras usually give you very noisy picture, but this one fixed that issue by using a largest telephoto sensor on any smartphone right now. It gathers more light so the output is sharp and clean. Even in dim environment with complex LED lighting, like this pop right here, the Find X9 Pro's photos stay sharp and noise-free. At 6x zoom, the photos are still very detailed. Meanwhile, at 8x zoom, the iPhone 17 Pro Max started to get noisy and cannot handle details like hair strand. Thanks to the excellent telephoto, you can safely zoom to around 15 times and still get usable images. And in complex lighting, the Find X9 Pro has an advantage because it now uses a separate exposure balancing camera, basically giving it a 4-camera system. It helps to detect ambient light more accurately. And you will see this effect better when it's shot against the light source. Under those challenging conditions, the skin tone and lips still look bright and lively. So the strength of this camera system is in the color reproduction and the telephoto quality. These two are outstanding thanks to the combining powerful hardware with Lumo algorithm. And to even maximize the telephoto lenses, you can turn on the 200 megapixel high-res mode. And when you turn it on, you will get an extremely detailed file that stays sharp even after cropping. The front camera is also 50 megapixel, delivering high detail. Every hair or beard strand is captured perfectly. If there's something I'm not okay with is when the background has too many LED. Like in this photo, the AI overprocessing its face and make it look a little bit like a cutout. The iPhone 17 Pro Max look more natural here. OPPO algorithm always try to detect the background, the face, the eyes, the lips, and enhance them for more vibrant result. So basically, it's trying to give you the best version of yourself. Most of the time, it results very well, but in some rare occasion, it's kind of far off. Also, for portrait shot, you must switch to portrait mode. It won't automatically blur the background like iPhone or Samsung Galaxy. And if the subject moves quickly, the photo might blur because the processing needs a bit of time. Surprisingly for video, the Find X9 Pro performs really well and almost like an iPhone, or in some cases even surpass the iPhone. Maybe because it has a better stabilization. Performance on this phone is solid. The Find X9 Pro is very well optimized with the Dimensity 9500. I mainly use it for multitasking and shooting photos and videos, and everything feels incredibly smooth. Even after capturing a lot of videos, the phone only gets slightly warm. Shooting 4K video at 30 frames per second for 30 minutes and the front screen temperature is only around 36 degrees Celsius, which is very cool for phones. So yeah, it's really checked the boxes for a premium phone right here. As for ColorOS 16, I feel that it hasn't surpassed iOS yet. And I have to say it, as its core, OPPO is still trying to copy iOS. The lock screen looks similar, the wallpaper feels similar, the quick setting looks similar, and even the notch animation, with OPPO call them Aqua Dynamics, are just basically the same as Dynamic Island. But interestingly, the ColorOS 16 synchronized very well with iPhone and MacBook. I will make a whole video about that later on. But for example, when using a MacBook, I can sync files and photos from the Find X9 Pro. Clipboard sync also works both ways. I copy something on the Mac and then I can paste it on the OPPO or even the other way around instantly. Screen mirroring is also work just like iPhone mirroring. The only thing that you need to do is installing the OPPO Connect app on your Mac, and both devices is on the same Wi-Fi network. For using with iPhone, I can sync notification, messages, call history, clipboard, and even quick file sharing. Just tap the two phones together using NFC, then the iPhone will connect to the OPPO Wi-Fi Direct and the transfer becomes super fast. And you don't even need to have an Apple device either. This also works on Windows laptop and Android tablets as long as you install the OPPO Connect app. And that's all my thought on this OPPO Find X9 Pro. It is a really fun and great experience, but it would be much better if they have their own color. But what is your thought on this phone? Let me know in the comment section down below, okay? And don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you won't miss any upcoming videos about the latest technology. Now, thanks for watching. This is NK from ThinkView, and see you guys next time.